Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yes, yes, yes. I've been having some serious technical difficulties recently. That's all right though, cause I got through, babies. Shout out to my man Dorian. It's his birthday yesterday. Love that dude, man. One of the originals, man. One of the originals. So listen, welcome everybody. Welcome. So this episode today, this discussion is around conditional love, unconditional love. Take a sip of water on this. So, to provide context, I was having a session with one of my mentees yesterday, and we were talking about this unconditional love piece. And I found myself getting into a little bit of a tirade on this. And I explained to him my concept has been that there is no such thing as unconditional love. And I've always thought that it's a myth. And so the concept of unconditional love is when you love someone no matter what they do and have no expectation of repayment. It means you love someone for who they are with no strings attached. So this is this concept that's traditionally spoken about in, like, the love rom-coms, and the thing unconditional love. You want unconditional, I want to have unconditional love in my life. And yeah, that would be a great thing to have, for someone to love you for you, right? And I posted on my FB one of the old school tracks, Heavy D and the Boys, with I'll Be Sure. I want somebody to love me for me, and not because I'm MC Heavy D. Yeah. So anyway, man, I always loved that song. And I remember growing up, I always thought that, man, I want to find someone for me, because most of my life has been people pleasing, wearing masks. So I've always thought, like I want to find someone that's gonna really love me for who I am. And what I found was that I rarely I mean, there's possibly, well, I've found that I have yet to find someone to love me for all of who I am. And that's what brought me to this theory of unconditional. There is no unconditional love, because when I would be in relationships, what I find is that in the beginning, I think that the women I've been in relationship with have loved the idea of me. Like, they'll see me on the social media, they see the things I do, and they see, like, how I impact people and things like that, and they could be attracted to that. And once they get to really be around the inner workings of me, like on the back end, when I'm cranky, when I'm pissed off, when I don't want to talk, and, like, I'm just like, I'm like, and I'm focused on doing all these different things for other people rather than myself, and doing my work so I can address that. I think the majority of them, or all of them really, just didn't want to be a part of that. And the luster of me started to fade, which, and again, this is my judgment. Like, I could be completely wrong, and it's absolutely all my shit. And I fully acknowledge that. And I'm speaking from my perspective. So one of the things I've recognized is that if someone's got unconditional love, they're gonna love me for all of me, right? And that's when I recognize that to truly get to unconditional love, the love gets to be conditional. Okay. And this is what I was explaining to my mentee yesterday. I said, every love's got conditions in the beginning, because I'm recognizing now I've got to check the conditions of a relationship to ensure I'm comfortable to give and receive unconditional. Well, first of all, to give unconditional love, and second, to ensure or do my best to determine that the person I'm with has the ability to I have the ability to receive unconditional love from that person, or that person's able to give it. So that's why I think it's very important for us to recognize as men, that what are the conditions for us to open our hearts in love? What are the conditions? Because when it comes down to it, especially in our society, most men are looked at for what they can provide, what they can give, who they are as far as like, I hear a lot about like when women want a guy over 6 foot, guy 6 feet. Women want a guy that's has making six figures. And really what I'm hearing and all that is that they want someone that can protect and provide. That's basically what it is. Because I guarantee if there's a dude that's 5'6" that's making $100 million, he's most likely gonna get some women. And if there's a guy that's 6'7", right, but he's making like $70, he's gonna get some women too, right? So there's still like, regardless of the number of stuff that women put on it that's out there right now, what I'm seeing behind that is there's an innate ability to want to get protection from a man and also provision for a man. So what that tells me is, again, that's a condition for love. Because if a man's unable, and I've been there, listen, when I was making a good amount of money, especially I was making a good amount of money, there was, hey, everything was great. When I wasn't making money, that's when everything got cut off. When I lost my job making a good amount of money, all of a sudden everything, hey, I was good. I was like, all right, yeah, good, yeah, cool, I could do this. Money wasn't coming in. Psh, man, you know what? You're not getting to see your kid, man. Where's the money? Where's the money? Even though, like, especially mothers of children, for guys that deal with that, like, listen, when the well dries up, like more chances are likely you ain't seeing that kid. So listen, just give me a heads up. So just keep your money up. So I bring this up like joking and far from joking, that there's gets to be conditions around you opening your heart and completely to a woman, right, or to whoever you love. And now the thing I want to switch to is what would be the conditions, right? And this and man, listen, this is something that I'm still working on. Okay, this is something that I still practice. I'm still observing in myself and in others. What are what are the conditions because right now I'm single. Only person I'm dating is myself, because I'm like focused on really getting to learn and know myself. So when I see that, or when I observe that, I notice that, hey, you know what would be the things as I start to find someone I want to court, or I think could be a potential for a relationship. What are the ways I would know? What are the ways I would know? So when I think about it, I'm like, okay, like I want to make sure, like, the condition would be that a person that I'm gonna give my heart to is able to roll with things. So this, and I'm just, as I'm processing this, because like this hit me yesterday. It's one of the reasons I'm putting it out here on this live, the podcast live edition. Is I was like, dang man, like, what would be the condition? So the condition is, I want to make sure that the person that I'm connecting with, the woman that I'm connecting with, is able to roll with things. Okay, what's the reason I would have that as a condition? Because like as I'm ascending, there's bumps along the road. There's bumps in cash flow. There's bumps in my emotion. There's bumps in all these things. Is the woman that I'm thinking of being with able to roll with the flow of things? Okay, or is she like, oh, this is ridiculous? Cut. Done. Nah, man. Nope. Sorry. Not gonna do it. The second thing, um, do they have a passion and a purpose? All right. I'm a fan of this because like I find that in my past relationships, um, either women had no purpose or they had some phantom purposes. Like, hey, I want to get out and do this. All right, well, What are you doing to do that? If someone's like, yeah, I'm living on purpose. All right, well, talk. Hey, that's great. Talk to me about like what's some of the stuff you've done. If there's nothing there, then that's a shadow stuff. They're trying to lure me in, right? Because they know that I'm on purpose. Cut. I've also had some women in my life that just never even thought about that. Like the purpose for them would be to have a kid. That's their purpose. And that's, listen, that's cool. The thing is like they can be codependent on a kid. All right, and that could be dangerous, especially for the man, because like if they're codependent on the kid, guess what? You as a dude, peace out. You getting put to the side, son. Just letting you know. Letting you know. All right. Now, here's another piece. So when I look at this, right, I was just thinking, man, this is deep. So when I was thinking about this, I was like, hold up. What are the conditions? Like, I think those two are super serious. And also, I think it's ability, the conditions, are they able to be as transparent as they want me to be? This is something like, especially in my, like, in my last couple relationships, that's something I've learned I'm gonna be especially particular about next time, because I found that women want to know, hey, tell me what you're feeling, what's this, I want to know, blah 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 blah. Yet at the same time, they're holding back information, right? They're holding back, or they're like, well, I don't know, I gotta think about it. Okay, then, like, if you want me to spit from the cuff and speak what's on my heart and my mind, and you're unable to do so, cut. That's a condition for me. So if those three conditions fail to get met, like, there's no way in hell my heart is even stepping in the building. I'm gonna be like, okay, like, it's gonna be like a friend. It's gonna be a transactional piece until I know, and I'm cool with that. Listen, I've had enough relationships. I got children issues. Look, I got a whole bunch of stuff that's taught me lessons on things I get to be more observant on going forward. It's what it is. So I think it's important, man, as I start to wrap this up, I think it's extremely important to observe, especially, man, if you're single right now. And I'm seeing this, I just want to spit on some other stuff. I'm looking at the conditions for someone else, right? The conditions I need to be in to give my love to a woman. I think it's just as important, if not more important, to understand what are the conditions for you as the man to offer up your heart. So for me at this point, my condition for myself is that I know I'm completely locked into my worth. Okay? Because when I'm locked into my worth, I'm going to be free of taking people's shit. That's what it is. Another condition for me is that I'm experiencing financial stability. Okay, because I know for me in my situation, part of my journey right now is rewriting my financial story, my finances, my money story. Okay, so I want to make sure, like, I'm stable and secure. Like, well, listen, yeah, you know what, yeah, I got money to do that, and let's do this, because then that'll show me, like, yo, they're able to roll with the punches. As I'm ascending, there's gonna be some bumps in the road, cash flow stuff as I'm building businesses, as I'm working, child support, all these different things. Hey, and I know where I'm going. If they're willing to take the ride while it gets a little bumpy, then cool. And also, if I'm willing to still continue to be myself and be free and be in Mr. Cranky Pants, then, like, look, then I know it's a condition that I'm open to stepping into that space to offer my heart. And another piece is, am I set in my practices? Okay, like, so, like, I do sun salutations in the morning. I sit with myself. I like to read. I like to study, especially right now I'm into this study of the Hermetics. So am I entrenched in my practices where I'm comfortable? So, because a lot of times men will get into a relationship. I'm going to be free. I'm speaking for myself. I've gotten into relationships and then all my practices, pew, out the window. All right. So listen, men, this is something important for us to really pay attention to, because unconditional love is the highest of the high. It's an extremely high frequency. The ability to love someone no matter what is the most powerful and potent frequency, if not if not one of the most powerful frequencies. I consider that unconditional love on the level of like a Christ consciousness, because if I'm able to see someone for who they are and free of like having restrictions or like loving them a certain way based on that, then like, yo, man, I've ascended to something special. So be very aware of your language of like, I want unconditional love. Yeah, I'm sure you do. And I invite you to consider, what are the conditions of your relationship to have or to give unconditional love? Okay, what are the conditions for you to express and open your heart? That's important, people. That's important, man. Believe me when I tell you. All right. So listen, with that, I'm out. Check out, you know how we do. Check out Heal.Thy.Man. Excuse me. Check out the Heal.Thy.Man Method.com. There's some programs that I got going on right now called Step Into the Arena. That's where I'm working with these mentees. Big shifts are happening right now for these guys, man. A lot of awareness. Step Into the Arena is a program about stepping to yourself, looking at your stories, looking at your pattern, looking at your armor, being able to uncover and unravel those patterns and things in your life that have led you to a certain place or space. Also in there, I got the Blueprints Mentorship. The Blueprints Mentorship is looking at what Carl Jung would call the archetypes. So it's looking at how you as a man show up as a lover, how you show up as a warrior, how you show up as a mystic, how you show up as your sovereign self, aka the king. And then we start to put all that together. That's enlightening too. I got a couple mentees on that right now. They're learning more about themselves, and both of these activities come with different activities and exercises, I should say, and homework, and also a recap and summary of what we did in the session. And as always, you can go to Heal.Thy.Man Method. You can pick up my book, Heal.Thy.Man Method. It is a pocketbook guide to self-awareness and fulfillment for men. Been getting very positive feedback for this since I had the book out. People are like, yo, man, you put some gems in this. So you can go on barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com, pick up your copy. You can also, if you want to get a signed copy, you can go to Heal.Thy.Man.Method.com. And I'll be like, bless up to you, yeah. All right, so thank you for joining and tapping in. I will see you all next Tuesday. Have a great weekend. And any comments, concerns, questions, please put them in the chat, man. Let's chop it up. All right, peace, everybody. Have a great day, and see you soon.